In the history of human civilization, there are few tragedies as profound as the destruction of Nalanda University. Once the greatest seat of learning in the ancient world, it attracted scholars from across Asia, China, Korea, Japan, Tibet, Persia, and beyond. Nalanda was not just a university, but a civilization's treasure house of knowledge, flourishing from the 5th century CE to the 12th century CE. Yet in the late 12th century, this world-renowned institution was reduced to ashes, burning for months. The scale of its destruction was so vast that even centuries later, historians and travelers remembered it as one of the darkest chapters in the history of education. But the question remains, why did it burn for months? Who burned it, and what motivated such destruction? Nalanda University was founded during the Gupta Empire, traditionally credited to Kumaragupta I, c. 415–455 CE. It grew under successive rulers, particularly Harsha, 7th century, and the Pala dynasty, 8th–12th century, who were great patrons of Buddhist learning. At its height, Nalanda had over 10,000 students and 2,000 teachers. Subjects taught included Buddhist philosophy, medicine, logic, mathematics, astronomy, grammar, and metaphysics. It had a library complex called Dharma Ganja, consisting of 3 great multi-storied buildings: Ratnasagara, Ocean of Jewels; Ratnadadi, Sea of Jewels; and Ratnaranjaka, Delighter of Jewels. Scholars such as Xuanzang, and Yi Qing from China, studied here and left detailed accounts of its magnificence. Nalanda was not merely an Indian center, but a global university, centuries before Oxford or Cambridge came into being. The destruction of Nalanda is generally attributed to Bakhtiyar Khilji, a Turkish military general serving under Qutb-ud-Din Aybak, the founder of the Delhi Sultanate. Around 1193 CE, Bakhtiyar Khilji led his army into Bihar. His campaigns were marked by widespread violence against Buddhist and Hindu institutions. Nalanda, being the most prominent Buddhist monastery university, became a target. Historical sources, including Minhaj-i-Siraj's Tabakat-i-Nasiri, a Persian chronicle, describe Bakhtiyar's invasion. Upon reaching Nalanda, he allegedly mistook it for a fort due to its vastness. After conquering it, he ordered the burning of its library and massacre of monks. The destruction was not incidental, it was deliberate. Nalanda symbolized Buddhist intellectual and spiritual dominance in the region, which Bakhtiyar and his forces considered alien to their rule. The scale of Nalanda's library was unimaginable. According to accounts, the library contained hundreds of thousands of manuscripts, covering subjects across the spectrum of human knowledge. Tibetan records suggest that the libraries were so massive that the fire burned continuously for 3 months. Some accounts even say it burned for 6 months, feeding on layers of palm leaf manuscripts and wooden architecture. The flames devoured not just Buddhist scriptures, but also rare works of Hindu, Greek, and Persian sciences and philosophy. Centuries of accumulated wisdom were reduced to ash. This is why Nalanda's destruction remains symbolic. It wasn't just the fall of a building, but the erasure of humanity's collective knowledge. The destruction of Nalanda is considered one of the final blows to Buddhism in India. With monasteries destroyed and monks massacred, the religion rapidly declined. Surviving monks fled to Nepal, Tibet, and Southeast Asia, carrying whatever knowledge they could. Priceless texts on medicine, astronomy, mathematics, and philosophy were lost forever. Some scholars argue that ancient Indian advancements in science might have influenced global knowledge had they survived. After Nalanda's destruction, India's tradition of large residential universities ended. Learning continued in smaller centers, but none matched Nalanda's scale. The torch of Buddhist scholarship passed to Tibet, China, and Southeast Asia. Nalanda's fall became a symbol of the fragility of knowledge in the face of violence. Even centuries later, travelers like the Tibetan monk Taranatha mourned its destruction. Nalanda University burned for months because of the sheer volume of manuscripts housed within its monumental libraries. The man behind its destruction was Bakhtiyar Khilji, whose motives were driven by religious intolerance, political ambition, and the desire to crush Buddhism's influence in the region. The tragedy of Nalanda is not just about the loss of a university. It represents the loss of humanity's intellectual heritage. It reminds us that while empires rise and fall, the destruction of knowledge leaves scars that last forever. Today, as Nalanda rises again in modern form, it symbolizes both the resilience of knowledge and the eternal human quest for learning. Thank you for watching. If you found the video insightful, hit the like button and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.